This is Local 15 News.
A t-shirt some folks are calling disrespectful has been removed from a clothing store at the Tenger Outlets in Foley. It's our big story right now at 10. The shirt featuring an upside-down American flag was on display for purchase at the PacSun store. A customer's complaint about the graphic has since gone viral. Local 15's Bethany Anderson joins us now with how the company is responding to the controversy. Bethany?
Good evening, Greg. We found out this afternoon corporate asked stores to take the shirt down after receiving criticism on social media. However, when we went out today, we definitely got some mixed reactions.
Some say it's a cheap marketing scheme.
It seems like they're not really trying to take a stance. They're just trying to make money off of, creating something controversial.
Others say it's freedom of speech.
It doesn't cause any offense to me. I mean, I respect others that it could have, but for me, no.
But for people like Missouri resident Logan Bell, he says it shows poor judgment.
Here is the t-shirt. What do you think about it?
I think it's kind of disrespectful to veterans to flip an American flag upside down and throw an anarchy symbol right next to it.
They're talking about the clothing line PacSun. The company featured this t-shirt in its Memorial Day weekend sale. A former store employee tells me rapper A$AP Rocky designed the shirt more than 2 years ago. He says the tee has been sold since then without controversy. That changed this weekend after a shopper saw it on display in Foley. She took a picture and posted a complaint on the company's Facebook page, calling it distasteful, generating more than 5,000 shares and endless angry comments. Some people say an upside-down flag represents the nation's divide over current events. Bell says that's still no excuse for the design.
Yeah, I actually live close to the riots. I'm from Missouri and close to Ferguson, and I still wouldn't wear that shirt.
While reps for the company still haven't confirmed whether the shirt was a misprint or released a statement, many people say they won't be a Pac customer anytime soon.
Does the shirt make you want to shop there anymore?
I mean, definitely not. Well, no, not at all.
No, never. No, probably not going back to that store again.
According to the U.S. Code of Laws, the American flag should only be displayed upside down when the nation is in dire distress or there's extreme danger to life or property. Reporting live from the Baldwin County Bureau, Bethany Anderson, Local 15 News.
And now it's Memorial Day. The Baldwin Pops continued its annual tradition in Fairhope this evening. What a beautiful evening it turned out to be, too. The group has been performing their Memorial Day concert for more than a dozen years now, and a little rain in the area wasn't going to silence them tonight. The Pops consist of volunteer musicians from Baldwin and surrounding counties. It was a day filled with celebration and remembrance. The South Alabama Veterans Council held its annual Memorial Day ceremony in Spanish Fort this morning. Hundreds of folks wearing their red, white, and blue came out to salute our fallen heroes. Ceremonial shots went off at the Alabama State Veterans Memorial Cemetery, symbolizing those lives lost, protecting this country's freedom. Today we spoke with one mother who had her kids place American flags along some of the tombstones.
I wanted my kids to know the true meaning behind Memorial Day, that it wasn't just to go have barbecue and have a fun family day, but to celebrate those that it went and fought on foreign soil and died and sacrificed their lives for freedoms we have today.
One of the men who sacrificed is that man, 104-year-old veteran Colonel John Jacobson. He stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. He was at today's ceremony. On our website, hear why he says he was touched by today's service. You'll find that story at local15tv.com. Veterans from both sides of the bay also gathered at Battleship Memorial Park. They raised Old Glory as well as the MIA POW flag this morning and then lowered them to half-staff. It was an emotional beginning to an emotional day.
People forget them real quick, and that's why they have these memorial services, so we can remember these people and the dedication they had to our country and what they did for us so we could have the freedoms we have.
A new memorial is under construction on the battleship. It will honor those who died in the war on terror since the September 11th attack. The new memorial will be dedicated this September 11th. At the Mobile National Cemetery this morning, a bell tolled 3 times for each branch of the military, honoring those who died while serving their country. Today's ceremony revealed the depths of the country's efforts to honor our fallen.
Seems like that people just don't remember the price of freedom. There is a price. It's a great price, the ultimate price to lose a life,
The sacrifice which is a word you toss around, and what does sacrifice, but the loss these men, women have that they didn't grow up to have a family, to have grandchildren, to honor their mother and father.
The first official observance of what would become Memorial Day was May 30th, 1868. That's when flowers were placed on both Union and Confederate graves at Arlington National Ceremony. Today, more than 228,000 flags placed at gravestones in the National Cemetery. The tradition known as Flags In has been going on since 1948 by the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, also known as the Old Guard. Many gathered at the National Cemetery today, remembering their loved ones who have passed away. President Obama and Defense Secretary Ash Carter were among those who came out to Arlington today. The president laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown, honoring the sacrifices of armed service members. Later, he spoke about those sacrifices and the fact that it's been 70 years since World War II. President Obama says this is the first Memorial Day in 14 years the U.S. has not been engaged in a major ground war. If you were in Sims today, you may have seen a man in uniform standing in the rain honoring those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Local 15's Taryn Reed spoke to the veteran about why he chose to spend hours honoring his fallen brothers and sisters. Taryn?
It was something I will never forget to see a veteran with such devotion, so compelled that he stands in the rain to honor those who have served. And I am honored to have met Petty Officer Julio Rivera. Come rain or shine, Petty Officer Julio Rivera stood his ground, a gesture to honor the men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. It's not something he's forced to do. He does it, he says, out of honor and devotion.
I believe Memorial Day is a day to honor those who have fallen. And here in Alabama, United States, we honor them and we respect them. And I just want to show my respect to them.
His day began early and wouldn't wrap up until nightfall. And with Rivera's stance came a crowd of onlookers taking photos, thanking him, saluting him. And ever so politely, he answered my questions, never wavering from his position.
But I do respect our fallen comrades, ma'am.
If you stood around long enough, you'd notice Rivera walking to each flag and saluting. It's another way of showing respect. And so for the second year in a row, Petty Officer Julio Rivera pays his respects to those gone too soon. So I salute you, Petty Officer Julio Rivera, and all of the others who have served. Now, a lot of you are sharing your photos of servicemen and women on our Facebook page, and keep those coming. We love to see them. In the newsroom, Taryn Reed, Local 15 News.
Thank you, Taryn. Red flags flying in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach did not stop scores of beachgoers from hitting the water this Memorial Day. A longtime lifeguard telling Local 15 News this was the busiest Memorial Day weekend he can remember, and he's been on the job 10 years. Not many people were in the water because of the red flags. Lifeguards say they did have to rescue a couple of folks who went out a little too far. Thankfully, no one was injured.
You can definitely feel it out there. We're trying to stay in, not to go too out far because those waves, they are crashing hard and they will take you under.
This was the first weekend beach enforcement officers were also patrolling out on the beautiful white sands of Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. No word tonight on what caused a fire at an abandoned home. Happened this afternoon on Greenback Drive. No one was injured in the fire. These firefighters doing their best, working hard on Memorial Day. Secretary of Transportation Anthony Fox will join Alabama Congressman Bradley Byrne tomorrow to talk about the I-10 bridge project. Fox will speak before the Mobile Chamber of Commerce in the morning. The group has been instrumental in spearheading the push for a new bridge over Mobile Bay. Right now, ALDOT is in the design phase to figure out a way to build and improve traffic on the Bayway. Estimates to pay for the project have reached between $800 million and $1 billion.
Got to get something going. We're arguing in Washington about how to pay for it. We need to get over that, pay for it, and build these bridges and highways.
Well, Byrne says he hopes the design portion of the project will be finished within the next 12 months. The annual Stop the Madness Community Summit is coming up this weekend. The initiative is an attempt to put an end to violence happening across the area. Organizers will be at Figures Park providing food and even some shoes for the needy. This year's event set for Saturday from 3 until 6. Scary moments for children inside a bounce house. What sent them flying in the air? We'll hear from one of the victims.
And a lot of the loud thunderstorms have settled down across the area. Can we expect a repeat on Tuesday? Complete look at your forecast in 2 minutes. Stay close.